Hi, I am Dave and welcome to Fore Golf. If you are new here, I make golf videos out of Perth in Western Australia and sometimes further afield. The reason I'm talking to you today is because I'm resurrecting something from last year, and it's not Corona, it's the Max Club Speed Challenge. So for those of you that are new to the channel, you may not have been familiar with the videos that I did back in July last year, where I set out trying to increase my club head speed. So I was able to do it to a slight degree, but if I'm quite honest, it was a half-hearted effort at getting anywhere near what I wanted to do, and I needed a little bit more structure around it. I have indeed been inspired by an awesome vlog, Ohio Golf Vlogs, formerly The Weekend Hack, going through a similar challenge of increasing club head speed, and the results that it's been getting are incredible. So I had to go and give it a crack. So I have gone and bought these. So yes, the SuperSpeed golf system. I've got the standard men's set, which is the green, the blue and the red club. The green club is 20% lighter, the blue is 10% lighter and the red is 5% heavier, and it uses an overspeed principle where you basically perform these workouts at a higher speed than you would do with your normal driver, and that allows you to increase your club speed overall. Now that won't be the only focus. I'll still be having lessons, I'll still be doing my mobility work as well, but it's just one part of the overall strategy to really try and knuckle down and improve my game in 2021. Now speaking of plans, there wasn't in my plans to have a snap lockdown for WA when I was just about to start this on 1st of February. So yeah, it wasn't ideal. It meant that I had to do all of the training within the first week at home. And that's not exactly how I want to do it moving forward, but for this week, it's kind of what we're going to have to work with. As I said, in conjunction with these, I will be continuing to have lessons, working on a game development program that's addressing the different areas, and also doing the Train Fully mobility program. And I'll probably do videos on those in a bit more detail. This week, it's all about those speed sticks. So if we are going to look at improving, we need to know where we're coming from. As again, you might know, I've been using Arcos for about the last 6 months, and that has some really useful stats in it. Within there, the last 10 rounds average, my total driving distance is 242 meters or 265 yards or thereabouts. Now, in line with that, my fairway percentage is only about 40%. I would like to improve that, but I'd rather be another 20 yards further up and in the rough than where I am at the moment. I just think that's not going to hurt me in any way. There are lots of other stats that Arcos is giving me at the moment that are going to be I'm going to be using to tailor the actual work that I'm doing outside of the speed stuff. But for now, we're not going to dive too deep into those. In terms of speed, I know that when I did the last of these, I was sitting in and around between 105, 106 mile an hour as an average, something like that. So for now, let's take you to the first day of the program where I establish where I'm at before I start. Okay, so day one, honestly don't know really what to expect. I've got this new swing speed radar, which SuperSpeed do suggest to use, but I've had mixed results with it so far, so I'm honestly not sure if I've got it in the right place. So I'm going to see. I'm going to take 3 swings with my driver to start with my normal driver. We'll get the average of the speeds of those, pop them in, and then we'll actually run through the program. So I've warmed up already. I'm just kind of doing this face on at the moment. It says to put it on a 45-degree angle, but it just didn't work very well when I did. So, and obviously I'm not hitting a ball either, so I've got to make sure I'm still hitting at something. So I'm actually putting, let's move a bit. I'm putting a dot there just for me to give a point at which I would be hitting the ball. First swing. 97 to hit the ground. It's a great start.
I'm not sure I understand.
Nor do I, Siri. 98.
100.
and then 106. So when I actually got after one, didn't do too bad. So 106, I'll average those out. 98 plus 98 plus 106. 100.67, so let's call it 100. Nice and easy start point. We're at 100 mile an hour. So there is the program. You do 3 swings with each hand, so left and right, and you even change your grip, and you also do a step change, which is a little bit tough on the coordination, and doing that left-handed is really quite tough. So the last 3 back with the green one, trying to swing as hard as we can. $112. 110. And 111 to finish. So that's the first session. We'll see how we go through the rest of the week. So as you can see, probably a little bit surprising. Maybe I didn't have the radar set up in exactly the right way. It was a little bit confusing to start with. I also don't think it's perfect when you're not hitting a ball as well. But again, I couldn't do much about that this week. I had to work with the situation that I was in. I did the second day of that, and I'll just put a little time-lapse video of that one, working through that. The basic program is the 3 swings at the moment, and you also do left-handed swings, and then you do step throughs, and it's all very well publicised. Lots of people have done lots of videos on what the actual program is. I'm really going to be reporting on what the results are. So, speaking of results, let's go to that final day. Okay, so third session of the week. What we're going to do, we're going to go through the program, and then we're going to take 3 more drives with the driver, just like we did before session 1, and see where we are. This isn't exactly how I want to measure the improvement, but given lockdown, don't really have much choice at this point. So only 3 days in, but honestly felt so much quicker at this point. I will find a way to get you to be able to actually see the display on the radar. This week I basically just fought with the thing, just getting it to read something that was reasonable. Alright, back to the last 3 with the light one. Right, I'm going to give myself 30 seconds to get my breath back, then we're going to have 3 goes with driver. Alright, as I said, it isn't perfect the way this is set up, but we're going to have 3 goes with driver. Take the average from there, because you can actually feel it raining now. It's 110. 106. 110. So, what's more likely is that the way I was reading it on the first day wasn't exactly right, or it was just not enough of average. So, we're going to go with whatever the post week 1 was. That's going to be my starting point, and that's where we're going to try and improve from. So, next stop, PGA Tour average. So that's a bit more like it. 107 mile per hour is kind of in line with where I was at the start of last year. I think that 100 mile an hour was probably a little bit of an anomaly, and maybe not enough drives to take a decent average. That's my start point. So the only way is up. SuperSpeed say that you expect to gain between 5 and 8% in the first 6 weeks. So I should be seeing somewhere close to that PGA Tour average that I mentioned of 113 mile an hour. Just quickly, is that surprising to you? It was to me. You know, you see all of the guys on tour absolutely launching bombs, and you see, you know, the Brysons and the Cam Champs and the Rorys and Tigers, you know, and they're all up in the high 120s. But the average on tour is 113 mile an hour. I mean, don't get me wrong, Freddie Couples and Ernie Els still play on tour, so it's going to get dragged down a bit by them. But genuinely surprising that the average guys are there. In terms of other targets for this year, I did sit down with Kerrod Gray at Joondalup at the start of the year, and we did establish some targets. So I have to get my fairways and greening regulation to around 50% as an average. I have a target of having at least one round of 75 or lower. Yeah, 75. And the obvious aim of getting into single figures, which if I'm shooting in around 75, is probably going to go hand in hand with that. So what do you think? Do you think I'm concentrating on the wrong things? Would love to hear your thoughts. There are no wrong answers, well, unless you don't agree with me. So that's it for this week. If you did enjoy the video, smash that like button. Leave me a comment below, as I mentioned too. And you always have the option to subscribe as well. Also, do go and check out Ohio Golf Vlogs and his Douche to DeChambeau, which is a brilliant name. And it's worth watching just for that.
Perfect.